All right, so Steve Vai. How do you even talk about Steve Vai? So, discovered again by Frank Zappa, hired by Frank Zappa to transcribe his guitar solos because Steve was too young to play. Then he got to play with Frank. I think it was after he kind of studied in the Berklee College of Music. He made some money with Zappa. He made some money playing for he already developed, he was already a crazy guitar player, played with White Snakes, a little bit with Ozzy Osbourne, recorded but never released, played with a bunch of like hard rock people. So at some point, he got enough money to say, you know what, I'm going to do something different. And what he did was locked himself in home studio for 8 months maybe and recorded something that just never existed before. He recorded an instrumental hard rock guitar album, just created a genre basically for himself. Used a lot of sampling, which was new. So not just played guitar, but the composition, the arrangement, the sampling, the mixing, put the whole thing together, obviously with help from other people, but basically by himself. So I don't think he expected how well it's going to be received, but it just blew up and he created this new thing for himself. This was, which has Passion and Passion and Warfare. After that, where is it? Yeah, this one. After that, he got kind of like went a little crazy. Had a band called Vi with Peter Townsend. No, not Peter Townsend, but some singer, a good singer. It was a good album, but just kind of heavy and did not work for his psyche. Really didn't like that what was going on, and he kind of changed a lot after that. He recorded Alien Love's Secrets in about the same time, kind of like it was an EP, so it's hard to see on streaming. It's not a full album, but he wanted to make a point that to record an album that could be played live because his first album was just too insane to play live. Of course, it plays this live, but it's not exactly as on the album. Uh, After a few albums and huge success, it got into the point of Real Illusions Reflections, which was the first album in a trilogy that has not been finished yet. That was 2005. So 19 years later, it's still not done. A lot of things happen. Uh, in 2012, The Story of Light was recorded. And this is the one that there's a couple of songs. It's one song, but it's divided in two for whatever reason. When I was thinking, like, which song and I'm going to pick from Steve Vai, and because you can take any of his songs and just dive into it and really just go crazy in what it does. And I'm not a guitar player. I cannot appreciate how insane what he does is. I know that he has his own guitars. Ibanez is working with him, and there are a bunch of models that are like his guitars, right? He designs them, they build it for him, and then they build similar guitars you can buy. He teaches a guitar. It's just like, in my opinion, if you have to rank guitar players in the world, he's just number one. Like, I don't care. Like, fight me in the comments, but it's not Jimmy Page. It's not Jimi Hendrix even because whatever. But not only is a guitar player, he is a composer, is a arranger, and he's also has this spiritual side that's kind of hard to even explain what it is. Uh, it's not like Christian, but it's not defined as an organized religion. But there's this spiritual sign, string, whatever that goes through all his music that you can feel and hear. And sometimes there'll be words in his songs, so it is a thing. So this song, two songs, I when I was thinking which one to pick, this was the song that my daughter, that she was like 8 or 9 at this point, I would play different things to her in the car while taking her to school. And she would pick some songs that she liked. And this was the song she would just got obsessed with. And I heard it a few times. And the more I heard it, the more the song is insane. So the song is John the Revelator. John the Revelator is actually a blues song from before the war, from about 100 years ago. And I have this, supposedly the original could have been from Blind Willie Johnson, which is like the perfect blues guy name. Let's play a little bit of that.
Who's that riding? Who's that riding?
That's what's called call and response blues style. Uh, really heavy religious feel to it. John the Relator, like if you want to dive deeper into this, that goes crazy because this is like the last addition to the New Testament, and it's where the four horses of apocalypse come from. So it comes from like this side of the religion, the prophets, which were mix between, in my opinion, they were crazy people, just insane, or they were tripping hard on psychedelics, maybe both. And basically, the Revelation, Book of Revelation, is could be just like somebody's having a bad trip, and then just write it down what happens. That's like the really fast way of explaining it. So we just heard a little bit of that song. Then I guess Sons of Anarchy, Curtis Singers, I guess, did a
John the
version.
Revelator, who's that riding? John the Revelator.
So yeah, kind of like a rocky version. Not bad, a little boring. Depeche Mode, they did that.
Take him up to the top where the mountains stop. Let him tell his book of lies.
So that just sounds like Depeche Mode. All right, so we're just gonna move on, and we're gonna move on to the actual song. And I'm not gonna mess with YouTube because I don't want it to stop anywhere. And when it goes from one part of the song to the other one, which is called Book of the Seven Seals, it just goes straight in. So let's see if that's gonna work. Nope, that's the first song. We want this song, the third song.
Well, who's that riding? Who's that riding?
So that's the original Blind Billy Johnson.
Hey, forgot the seven
Okay, so as you can hear, this is a sample. He's recording on top of the sample, the original sample. The singer is Beverly McClellan. Interesting, sad story. She came up on The Voice. Blues singer, recorded one album, is available on streaming, neither here nor there. This was recorded, I think, in 2012. The album came out in 2012. She actually died of cancer in 2018. So, RIP, Beverly. Sorry. Uh, if you look her up, she's a crazy looking lesbian chick, tall, bold, full of tattoos. So the voice matches the vision, right? So that's her singing. So this is typical Steve, especially for this album, the guitar. This he has this Gravity Storm song when he uses the thing that makes it go a lot, and only guitar that's built for him can withstand that. And just heavy bass matches the guitar, very heavy sound, not a lot of music, but it just goes together well. The drums are really good, also match it. Heavy feel, but not too full and not too loud. skip half a beat. So just cool rhythmic stuff. One thing, just I remember thinking that how she yells is not necessary these days with microphones and amplification. This is the tradition from blues, from the original blues, where people like their blind Billy Johnson probably sounded like this because he's lost his voice from shouting. And blues singers sometimes would be called shouters because they had to shout because there's no amplification. You want to entertain a rowdy bar or whatever saloon, you need to have a voice. And she has that voice and she's just going all out. Background singers, a lot of stuff mixed in. She's like overdubbed a few times, so it sounds like overwhelming. A lot of voice examination. Just like the book of Revelation, craziness, insane stuff happened, just like nightmare trip. Words make no sense, right? If you find sense in it, then you're that way. Cool. Tears of the angels burning down in heaven. Okay, so this is the story of light. Here they changed the words because the album is the story of light. The first song is the album is actually some of Steve's relative reading some stuff in Russian that's like spiritual text. I understand Russian. It makes very little sense. It's like some crazy, not even Buddhist, but whatever, like the essence is the essence of the essence, and forever is now, and now is never. It's just random shit. A little bit of solo. I think now there'll be a short solo. Steve. Yeah, right now. That's actually fairly tame for Steve. He can go crazier than that. There are some songs that the guitar playing is amazing. So the whole wall of sound, people screaming in the back, panning side to side. Okay, those sounds are crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna pause because right now it goes into the second song. The second song is "Book of the Seven Seals," which is from the lyric from the first song, and it gets wilder. It gets wilder because suddenly there's a choir, and that choir sounds weird, like they sing gospel, but they sound like classical singers. So I dove deep a little bit. So okay, let's start playing, and I'll show you what I found out. So that's the second song. Same voices, choir. Okay, so this is like a musical, right? Now this is something else completely. It's the same song, but they sound like professional singers. So I tried to, just from streaming, to figure out who was on it, could not figure it out. Then I went on Steve's website and found the credits. And in the credits, so there were a bunch of names in the credits. So at some point I thought, you know what, maybe what if I find these singers and just contact them and ask them and just see, what was the story. So first of all, I took the first name, Alvin Che. Well, guess what? That's the bass from the Take Six, which is an amazing gospel a cappella group. And then I went name by name, and they're all professional singers with albums. They like sing on theater and musicals, so really established choir. And then he just calls this the Story of Light Choir. And where's this thing? Additional arrangement? No, not this. There we go. The Counterpoint Singers. So I looked that up. This is North Central High School Counterpoint Singers. It's a high school choir which wins competitions for insane productions of not just like singing but musicals with dancing and stuff. Look them up on YouTube. Again, this is like you can dive into that hole for pretty deep. But these are the people that are singing here right now. Solo, guitar solo. The drums go crazy. I mean, if you're gonna have a song about the apocalypse, why not this? Vocal arrangements get crazier. And this smells like Frank Zappa. Like, is this serious? Or is it already some kind of a joke? Because I cannot even tell what the hell's going on, right? So it just got getting crazier and crazier. And we have 2.5 minutes.
Talk to us, John. What's the good news? People can want the drummer singing of the blues. While I'm trying to pray, God, what do you see? And they don't do the happy.
Now we have back to real gospel. This is gospel, right? So now those musical singers, suddenly they can do gospel. Now if you want to fight me on Jimi Hendrix versus Steve Vai, right there. Building up, building up. Have more than 1 minute left still. So remember, we're building up to the apocalypse. And stop because the sound, something's messing with my stuff. It gets quiet. Now it's getting faster. Next level. Now they changed the key thing. The rhythm is the same, but now there are like a bunch of different parts. Like the whole choir is doing their own thing. Apocalypse. This is the apocalypse. Explosions, end of the world. This is it. This is like what 8 minutes lead to. And Beverly back in the end. Somebody's still writing. All right. So this was John the Revelator, Book of the Seven Seals, from the album The Story of Light, Steve Vai. Thanks for watching, if anybody's watching, and if you have recommendations, questions, drop that in the comments. Thank you.